able to get into it.
All right, you guys.
You got the whole rest of your life to learn.
Yeah, even
that's what everyone says.
You can play golf your entire life, man,
and stuck at it your entire life. Like even the guys who've been playing like 30 years suck.
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah, but you play with handicap. Play with handicap, you can compete with anybody.
Yeah.
I think driving is super fun. Going to the driving range and getting a bucket of balls. I think that's super fun. But I hate walk. I don't think I'll ever be able to do 18 holes.
We're live right now on YouTube.
You gotta go with the right people. Like if you play in like a foursome, and it's with dudes you like enjoy hanging out with, and they suck too. Like I used to go out with.
We're live on YouTube, FYI.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
This is my first time setting it up, so it just happened. So it's right now. So
Should we like?
There's zero people. There's 0 people watching right now.
Should we spread the link?
Yeah. You should just be able to go to the VT YouTube page and copy it from there, and you can spread that around. So one person's watching.
Nice.
Wait.
Hello to the one person that just joined us. So I'm gonna need some help from you guys during the show to kind of like push the links out and stuff like that.
All right, I'm working on it.
And then,
I have a message. I have a message for the one person watching. Please eat Little Caesars pizza as much as possible.
Jesus Christ.
Never ends with you, man. In the Little Caesars.
If we end up getting like a promo deal though, it's actually a good thing that he keeps doing it.
Yeah.
So
I'm working on that.
He's definitely getting his practice in. But
oh my god. Okay. Holy. I'm watching. I have a message for the one person watching.
There's a 10-second delay too, so if things get really screwy, we can. Okay. You need to close that though, Drew, because we can hear the feedback.
I muted him.
Okay.
I'm not watching it. I X'd out of it or whatever.
Okay.
There you are.
So you guys can see it on YouTube, right? So if you share that link, people will be able to come in. If you're just now joining, there's 3 people in there, so welcome to the VT Roundtable. I'll probably say that a couple times tonight. Tonight we're doing a little different. There's not really anything to talk about as far as like new news, or I feel like we've kind of hit everything. We've hit all the big off-season topics. So tonight the idea was to kind of just let people come into the roundtable, bring in some viewers, let them ask questions. Get some questions from Twitter, get some questions from the live chat on the YouTube video. Looks like we got 5 people watching now. I don't know. Have you guys put the link out there?
I think
I'm in the process right now.
All right, I'm gonna also add a link to join the roundtable.
I'm dying. The dude in the live. Are you guys seen the live chat on the side of the YouTube bar?
No.
Shout out to Kenneth Warren. I'm dying at. Oh snap! Am I the one person? There's like a little live chat thing that like.
That's pretty funny.
That's great, Kenneth. You are welcome to the VT Roundtable.
Okay. So we got we got someone that's trying to come in. Austin, you want to go ahead and take a look at that person and?
Yeah, sure.
Take a look at him. Size him up a little bit.
No, I don't. Who is this? I don't know who it is. I'm just gonna let him in.
Is it a? But you see somebody.
It's a person.
It's like the voice. It's like the voice. You don't
let him in.
Here we go.
Who we got?
I'm in.
I'm in.
What's up, man? Welcome to the VT Roundtable. Who are we talking to?
You see?
Hello? Can you hear us?
Oh.
Can you hear us?
Oh.
Hello?
Can't hear him.
Okay. Hey, man, you're live right now, so... okay, and we lost him. All right.
I got another person.
All right, let the next person in.
I don't think he needs an introduction, but he is patiently waiting, and here he is.
Gosh,
I know who it is now.
Hoodie.
What's up, Hoodie?
Gentlemen, what's going on?
Go, Don, back for another round.
How are you tonight?
I am fantastic. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
We're doing good, man. We're live on YouTube right now, so this is the first time we've ever done this. We're kind of testing this thing out because the plan was during the regular season to do these post-game shows, kind of in a similar format where we just get together, talk about the game, and bring people on. So we just had one guy try and come on unsuccessfully, and so you're.
He was on. I don't know if he knew he was on.
He said I'm in, and then he froze. So I don't know what happened.
I kicked him out.
Oh,
no, you didn't. So
I actually,
I did it.
So Hoodie,
yes.
So what's up, man? You got something you want to talk about? I know you threw out a few questions on Twitter. You want to hit up one of those, or?
Yeah, why don't we? If that's okay.
Okay, so I know one guy was talking about he wanted to hear your input on where's the question here? A surprise cut trade by the time the season opens up. So, Hoodie, we'll start with you. You can respond to that gentleman that was talking to you on Twitter, and then we'll go around and get some other input on it.
Okay. I thought it'd be an interesting point. I mean, right now seems to be the obvious choice of the quote-unquote cut or trade. So we'll keep him out of the discussion because I think we've all kind of think that, with his cap space situation and, it wouldn't cost us anything to cut him and such, and it would save us a few more dollars next year too. So I would say that, Wright would be out of the equation. Would TJ Clemmings really be a surprise cut at this point? Meaning that, if you're looking at someone who started last year, again under the circumstances, well, the last 2 years, but under the circumstances, would he really actually be a surprise cut either? So granted, he'd be considered a backup, but I think Hill would still be a much better option at left tackle, and at right tackle, I think Searles is probably a better option at right tackle than Clemmings would be at that point. So I honestly, to me, maybe Clemmings would, would that really be considered a surprise? I guess if there would be, to me, a surprise, it'd be Jabari Price.
Jabari Price?
Jabari Price, And the reason why I say that is because he really hasn't done, enough at this point. I thought he would have come, further
along more.
Yeah, and be quiet. And I think he would. I thought he would develop much farther along than he would have by now. And to me, it's
his own way.
Yeah,
he's been running into himself for like 2 years. He's got 2 DUIs. He's been in Zimmer's doghouse twice. How can he possibly be a surprise cut?
Well, how's he stayed on to this? Well, I guess the question is how's he stayed on this point. It's kind of
the IR last year. He held his roster spot by being on the PUP list after. I feel like he would have been cut last year because he was basically rostered by literally because he got hurt before the Vikings had an opportunity to cut or release him.
I guess the only other option that would be a surprise would be one of our linebackers. Lemur, yeah. I think that would probably be, to me...
That would be a surprise.
Yeah.
I think that's rational, too, I think.
Yeah, because he certainly didn't show anything. He got a pretty decent contract for what it was. And when they inserted him... Wait, it's not your turn.
Hey, you don't get to come on the show and punk Austin, man. I'll kick you out of here.
That's okay. I expect it. It's fine. He's been hurt, though. He hasn't even been part of OTAs, so I can see it happening.
Yeah, and I do, too, where I just think that he really didn't show much at all last year. And, is he really going to be an option this year? The only other person I could think of, besides that, if for whatever reason Sharif Floyd's going to be okay, I can honestly see Tom Johnson getting cut too.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I could see Johnson, especially with how we were drafted, and I think even if Floyd doesn't even make it back, I could see Johnson being expendable. I really do.
So the second part of your question, and I want to be quick because we got one person just left, so now we got one person waiting to get in, so I don't want to keep people on hold too long. But the second part of your question was a trade. I just want to throw this out there. Do any of you guys think it's a possibility Bridgewater could ever be traded? Or
could ever?
Not ever, but I've heard some kind of don't want to say conspiracy theories, but people throwing out there that one of the reasons the team's kind of pumping him up through this big social media push, with his comeback and everything, is to maybe build a trade market for him. Do you guys think that has any legs, or do you think that's just kind of...
That's a really bad pun, by the way. That was a terrible pun.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit... I wasn't intentional.
They would have extended Bradford then.
Yeah, well, they still could.
Yeah, they
still could.
Yeah, I don't...
It's still good.
Yeah.
Wait and see what he does this year.
I think I just don't, I don't even think anybody would take a flyer on Teddy at this point. I really don't.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, we're gonna let the next person in, Hoodie. We might bring you back on if we run out of people coming in.
Sure, I'll be around.
All right, man. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Peace, gentlemen.
Oh, that's
I
late.
don't know who this is, but
All right, who's next?
he's been
Who's
waiting.
next in the Inferno?
He's been waiting patiently. It looks like he's got some muscle milk or something. I can't.
Yeah.
Is
Came prepared, man. He's getting that fuel in.
Who is that?
Oh man, you got stock.
Hello?
The stocking hat. Hello?
Viking
Hello?
Santa?
Santa hat.
What's up?
What do you want?
That hat.
Carl Eller. Signed, Carl Eller.
Signed Carl Eller.
Who you got? What's
Vikings.
your name, buddy?
Eric.
Where are you
Eric.
from, Eric?
Up there.
Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
Dakota territory.
All right,
baby.
Eric.
Dakota territory.
Eric,
We're talking surprise cuts at the end of the summer here. Who's your surprise cut for Vikings?
Marcus Sherrills.
That's the surprise cut every year, and then it never happens.
This will be
It's bold.
I respect it.
We drafted some returners, so if this is the year, it's going to be this year.
Okay.
That's
I feel
fair.
like I say that every year.
I mean,
Last year was the
I don't think it's
finally
unfair.
was
I
like,
just don't
it's not
think
gonna
it'll happen. Mainly because I'm jaded from that take because we've had it like the past 3 or 4 years, and
2014 is the
and
first year
it's
we
been my
started.
own too. And then every time he finds a way. So Eric, you got any questions for us, man?
No, just I've been listening since you guys got on YouTube, and I enjoy it. So
We appreciate it, man. Does anyone else want to? I mean, since we have some time, I don't think there's anyone else waiting to get in. Does anyone else want to talk about their surprise cut?
I got a question for Eric.
Go ahead.
If Sherrills gets cut, how do you see the cornerback depth chart playing out?
I don't know. I think this is going to be a big year for Alexander. I think he's really going to step up this year.
I'm with you.
Okay. I just
Like that.
I noticed with Hoodie and then the round table here and yourself, cornerback seems to be a crowded position, prime for a surprise cut or two.
Eric, what do you think about punt returner then if Marcus Sherrills is gone? Who will be the punt returner?
I don't know. Rodney Adams or Stacy Coley. I mean,
I like Coley.
either of them don't have a whole lot of experience at punt returner, but I mean, that's what the coaches are for.
What about McKinnon? I feel like
McKinnon's
McKinnon
shaking
can play there.
He's taking reps doing that. Thielen
Yeah.
did last year too.
Well, no more Thielen at punt returner. We know what happened there. Don't want that.
True.
And it cost us the Dallas game.
Someone they posted like a mic'd up today a McKinnon, right? And someone said he was getting punts and returning kicks and stuff in the
All
Vikings
right.
video. So I think that's a definite possibility. So, Eric, how old are you, man?
25.
And how long you've been following the Vikings for a while, or I'm assuming yes from
Yep.
Fargo.
My first year interested in the Minnesota Vikings was 1998, and I like them a little bit more every single day. I mean, the love just keeps growing.
1998 was a big year for the
Die hard.
Vikings, man.
Yeah,
And-
It's a good year to start liking them.
yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
I cried at the end of that. I cried at the end of that season, and I shed a tear every single year. But I keep going back for more.
Yeah, you would have been pretty young then in '98.
Yep.
That first year, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And I was at the end of that year.
All right, so it looks like we got some questions in the chat. Eric, you can stick around, man, if you want, or you can leave. It's up to you. We're just going to run through some of these questions. So let's see. Maybe this one, you can answer this one, BJ. He says, I got a question. Is Elijah Lee that good?
I mean, that's kind of...
Is he that good? You
I mean, that... Yeah, you got to tell me where the emphasis is on that sentence.
Okay, hold
on.
So Victor followed up. He said, Elijah Lee hype, worth it? Question mark.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Elijah Lee, man. I mean, okay, this is a guy that's a little bit undersized right now. He came out of college a year early. Probably could have kind of did himself a disservice by coming out of Kansas State a year this season as opposed to next year. He's got some weight to gain. He's got to work on his technique a little bit, but this guy has special talent. He's got the coverage skills that you need for a linebacker in the contemporary NFL. Absolutely. Put your eggs in Elijah Lee's basket. If he gets cut by the Vikings, he'll get picked up by someone else.
He's a possible starter this year. Looking at that depth chart at outside linebacker, I mean, Lamore, you got Gideon who might slide in slide in the middle, have Kendrick slide out, or Elijah Lee. Those are kind of your three really front runners. I think. I'm just looking at it. Edmund Robinson too. Yeah, that's a good one.
You've been getting the most reps.
So,
right?
Okay, so our buddy Rashawn, who I think is the gentleman that tried to join and was having some technical difficulties, he had a Michael Floyd question. He says, why so little expectations for Floyd, a true big red zone threat? So, I mean, I think we know where you stand on this, BJ. I don't think your expectations for Floyd are low at all. I think they're pretty sky high. And I would say as a group, I think our expectations are pretty high for Michael Floyd.
I think the overall expectations for Floyd are low because of the Treadwell hype. I think that's what I was going to sum it up.
And I think that's where I was going to kind of take this too, is because there has been so much Treadwell hype, and we talked about it a couple episodes ago. Take this stuff that's coming out of OTAs with a grain of salt. Not going to believe it until we see it on the field in a game. So I guess my question to you guys is, if you had to pick a guy that you think is going to be in that number 3 spot, are you taking Treadwell or are you taking Floyd? And I'm interested to hear your response, BJ, because I know how much you love Floyd. So,
if I'm talking today, like as in,
who
am I taking at the end of this summer?
With what we know right now, I mean that's all we can really do.
Drew and I kicked this one around for probably way too long on the podcast last week when the hype of the Laquon Treadwell hype kind of started maxing out. What it comes down to for me is that Michael Floyd is already a proven talent. He's already been a 1,000-yard receiver. He's caught 5 touchdowns in every year of his career except for one year being the last one. This is a guy that is a first-round talent that has already definitively established himself as at least a situational weapon in the NFL. Laquon Treadwell hasn't established anything. He's established absolutely nothing. So for my money, I'm going to take the guy that's done it before. Just because Treadwell, I'm not saying Treadwell won't be good. I'm just saying for my money, I'll take the proven talent any day of the week. Especially with Treadwell, when the separation thing is an issue, you wonder if his leg is ever going to heal fully. I'll take the guy that's gotten 1,000 before over the guy that had 1 catch for 15 yards last season.
I think a big part of it is that Michael Floyd's 2017 season is going to depend greatly on what the other Viking receivers do in those first few weeks while he's sitting on the suspension. If those guys come out of the gate and succeed, he's not going to see the field as much as he's going to need in order to have that sort of success. Now, if they fail miserably in those first few weeks, then Michael Floyd is hopefully going to be the guy that comes in and jumpstarts the offense. So I think it really depends on how the offense, without Michael Floyd, performs in those first few weeks.
Specifically Treadwell, too.
Specifically Treadwell and possibly even Thielen, depending.
Situational football is what's most important for Treadwell coming into this year because at the very least last season he should have been used inside the 20-yard line. The fact that he wasn't when the Vikings didn't have a big body receiver on the outside, they were essentially, Drew brought this up, they were basically throwing jump balls to Adam Thielen, who's 6'2" and not exactly a big body wide receiver.
He's pretty good at it though.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying they decided to test out Thielen before they decided to test out the guy who literally made a college career off of catching the ball with in traffic with guys.
And who they drafted in the first round. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that says something right there about Treadwell.
All right, Eric. We're gonna let you go, man. We appreciate you stopping by, though. All right. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.
You. Yep.
Man.
Okay, I can't see this next person. Oh, wait. I think it's our friend that wanted to come in the first time, so I'm going to let him in.
For the record, I think I would start Treadwell. So that's just.
I was going to say the same thing.
Was that you, Rashawn? Rashawn, hey, yeah, turn off, close YouTube because we got a delay there.
Say that again for me.
Close YouTube because we got a little delay.
Okay.
Can you hear us okay though?
I can hear you perfectly. It's a little delay, but I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah, oh gosh.
Oh, no.
Maybe third time. All right. In the meantime, I got a question from Luke Rand. He says, haven't heard you talk much of J-Ron Curse. I really like his upside and believe that he will eventually replace Sendejo. Not really a question, but I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on Curse moving forward?
Yeah. It's up in the air. I mean, if you saw what he did last year in that Bears game and he was kind of plugged in.
So what's he missing, right? Because he's got the physical traits.
Instinct, knowing where he is, play recognition, tackling with his head down.
So everything, basically.
Pretty much everything intangible.
Right.
So everything he can't do better. All right.
He's the Terminator that doesn't know what he's doing.
Rashawn, third time's a charm, man. How's the connection?
All right.
Oh, there we go.
Better?
Welcome to the round table, buddy.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Hey, let me just say, BJ's my favorite on here.
Are you trying to get kicked out of here? Sean? Are you trying to get kicked out of here or what, man?
Nah, man. He gets a 5-star review right there.
I can't see you all, but BJ's my guy.
So where are you from?
Minneapolis, Minnesota, but I'm currently in Sacramento, California.
Okay, cool.
What are you doing?
All right, Sean, what are we talking today for you? What's your Vikings topic choice?
All right, my choice is to talk about Michael Floyd. I feel like he's a little bit underrated, under the radar, seeing that his worst or least productive season is still pretty productive, seeing the history of receivers we have. I feel like he should get a little bit more hype than he's getting.
Yeah,
sorry,
I agree.
Sorry, can you?
So my question is, if you believe the Treadwell hype, right, and if you believe Michael Floyd is productive, even in his least productive season, who makes the roster? Rodney Adams, Stacey Cole.
That's a good question.
I like that. That's a good question.
So are you assuming Jarius Wright makes the roster?
I don't.
Okay,
I think they find him or dump money off to where I just don't see him.
So then you're talking. So are you? So you're saying we're only going to keep 5 wide receivers at that point? Because if you lose Wright, you'd be able to keep Adams and Coley, right?
Well, let's break this down real quick here. So you got Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen are locks, correct?
Yep.
Everyone can agree on that. Okay, Laquon Treadwell also a lock. First round pick. He's not getting cut again. So that's 3. The guys that are up in the air, you got Michael Floyd because guaranteed his contract isn't fully guaranteed. You got Rodney Adams, who's a 5th-round pick and doesn't carry that much dead cap. You got Stacey Coley, who's a 7th-round pick. You got Jarius Wright, who's got 1 year left on his $15 million deal. And you got who's that?
Moritz Boringer.
Oh, yeah.
Movo.
Yeah, Movo. You got all the other guys. And basically Isaac Frickty is the other one. So if you keep 6, you got 3 unlocked there. That means you got Michael Floyd, Jarius Wright, Rodney and Stacey Coley fill 3 spots, essentially. If you don't believe in Isaac Frickty, that would make 4.
Right, and that's what I was saying is everyone pretty much assumes Wright's going to be gone. So I think back to Rashawn's question, I mean, it sounds like you're keeping both Rodney Adams and Coley if Wright's gone. However, I personally don't think they're going to let Wright go, and I see Wright making the team, and I see Rodney Adams being getting a starting spot, and then Stacey Coley being pushed.
I think again, the suspension of Michael Floyd plays a huge role in this. If the Vikings get a roster, which they should.
Then they can keep all those guys. Then when
they can keep all those guys and give them an extended audition in the first few weeks and decide who stinks and who floats when Michael Floyd is ready to be on the active roster.
I think the simple answer to his question about why there's not that much hype is, first of all, one of you guys already said this, in that the fact that the Treadwell hype is sky high right now, so that's just inherently going to lower the perception of Michael Floyd coming aboard. And the second thing is what Warwas just said. The fact that he's not going to be on the roster for the first two, maybe 4 games, just it dulls the senses a little bit, because everyone's focused on the guy that's going to be ready week 1, and that's Laquon Treadwell right now. I think that's the simple answer to the reason why the hype is so low at this point.
Yeah. Right. All right, Rashawn, we got someone waiting to get in, man. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you stopping by. Thank you.
Thanks, Rashawn.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
All right, next person. I don't see a video on this, so we're just gonna roll with it. See what happens.
They're covering their camera until you let them in. They're gonna surprise you.
What was that thing called chat roulette, where like you went online?
Hey,
that's what it was called. That's what it was.
We don't. I don't know anything about that, Austin. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How's everybody doing today?
Doing good. Welcome to the roundtable. What's your name?
My name is Aram. Can you guys hear me all right? Or do I need to do
anything? No, you're good.
You're good. Awesome.
Yeah. So what'd you say your name was?
Aram.
Aram. Okay. Where are you from, man?
Minnesota. I live in Maple Grove, around the Twin Cities. So
actually,
nice.
Yeah, I assume you guys know where that's at. I don't know where that's at. So.
I do. That's my old stomping grounds, Aram. Back in the day, there was a billiards.
What'd you say, Adam? Those are your stomping grounds, and what? Billiards?
He just said the word billiards. So
leave it to the old man to bring up billiards at the table.
That was back before Maple Grove blew up. Now they got this huge outlet mall and stuff right there on 95.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
growing, man. Everything's growing.
Anything like it did.
So what's up, man? You got something you want to talk about? You got a question or something, or?
I guess I just been thinking about when I look at the Vikings defense. I think they're a good defense, but I think they can be great. I think one position that's holding them back is the strong safety position, and I've said this for maybe 2 years in a row. I think Andrew Sendejo is holding a lot of the defense back. I think Harrison Smith in general is being held back from Sendejo. I mean, Sendejo is a pretty good safety. I would say backup at best, but I think he doesn't have much to offer when it comes to versatility with the safety position. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's interesting.
Sean, why don't you go ahead and take that? Because Sean just no, wait. Yeah, that was Sendejo, right? Your piece is Sendejo. Yeah. So Sean, go ahead and answer that if you want.
Well, you brought up some great points. Sendejo is not a flashy player by any means. In my article, what I said is he, based off his reliability and the players knowing each other, and specifically him knowing the rest of the secondary, that allows Harrison Smith to make plays for the defense. So if you guys want to weigh in on that.
That's the biggest point. That's the reason why he's stuck. Because he knows the defense, and guys like J-Ron Curse can't figure out their, head from their feet when they're out there.
So I think one thing too to remember here is the fact that he is playing with Harrison Smith. I mean, it kind of, you're at a disadvantage right there by playing with one of the best safeties in the league. Your perception is always going to be kind of, well, I'm not the best safety on the team because this guy's way better. So even if he does make a great play, or even if he does do something, productive or contributes, whatever, it'll always be seen kind of as a lesser light than Harrison Smith.
So what do you think of Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor then, Drew?
Well, that's different, right? I mean, I'm not going to compare Andrew Sendejo to Cam Chancellor.
I'm not. I'm comparing the dynamic.
That's what you just did. You just compared them.
I was comparing the dynamic clearly, very clearly.
Wasn't that clear to me?
Whatever.
Okay, well, that's what I was doing. Well, not making it clear, right?
I think I agree with Aram, and I've written about it a few times, and I agree, strong safety. I mean, Harrison Smith, if they could have found a way this offseason to pair him up with someone absolutely, maybe not even Harrison Smith's equal, because I don't think there's anyone out there that is his equal at this stage in the game, but someone a clear step up from Sendejo's level of play would have put this defense over the top. Now, I think this is a Super Bowl caliber defense. I think the window is open because of this defense. But Sendejo is a liability, and the even bigger liability is the depth behind Harrison Smith. in the event that he were to go down for an extended period of time, there is a huge hole in the middle of that defensive backfield that's going to be very difficult to account for despite all the cornerback depth and talent that we have. But, yeah, I agree with Aram. Sendejo is serviceable, but it could have been better, and the effort just wasn't there this offseason. Their attention was obviously on the offensive line and other positions.
Rightfully so.
The depth concerns me even more than Sendejo starting.
So, let's segue into a different question, and you can stick around, man, if you want, because there's no one else knocking yet.
Sweet.
Drew and BJ kind of talked about this on their podcast, about the labor podcast. They were talking about basically like what's the biggest Achilles heel for this team, because I think you guys said there was like an article on Bleacher Report or something like that, or maybe it was some other.
Yeah, somebody
website.
said it was defensive tackle, which I mean,
Sure.
we both really disagree about that.
So what do you guys? I think the guy's opinion was that it was defensive tackle,
which is not.
Which I think it's kind of ludicrous to suggest anything along the defensive line is a weakness on this team.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, with that being said, what do you guys think?
We talked about this not that long ago, and I think it's going to be special. I think if this team has something that's going to snake bite them this season, it's something on special teams.
A missed field goal, a bad punt, because those are both question marks, right? Who's going to play kicker? Who's going to be your punter? Who's going to return kicks? Like, no one knows the answers to any of that.
I made the case for offensive line still being the Achilles heel because, I mean, you still have. I mean, Riley Reef is definitely a solid run blocker, but I think there's still a lot of questions in pass protection. Alex Boone is a fine left guard. At center, you're going to have a rookie in there who obviously was very productive at Ohio State, but I mean, as a rookie transitioning, you don't know. There's a lot of questions. Right guard is up in the air. Joe Birch is probably going to be that guy, but I mean, he's obviously 35, 36, 37 maybe. I mean, he's getting up there in age. And at right tackle, you have Mike Remmers, who, you know, he's not that impressive, at least to me. So I think there's still a lot of questions on offensive line, especially if we have an injury that we see from this team, from that unit. There's going to be a lot of concerns because I don't think the depth is there at all either. So I think, especially with an immobile quarterback, the offensive line is definitely something that Vikings have to worry about still.
What about you, man? You're our guest. What's your take on this?
I don't think that our defensive line is our weakest point this year, man. I really love our two additions via draft and then via free agency with Will Sutton and then Jaleel Johnson. I just think last year it was kind of up and down. I thought like games like against the Redskins, there was some very questionable defensive line play and just front seven play in general. So I think maybe getting those two guys, I don't even know how it's going to shape out. Maybe Shamar Stephen, maybe he gets cut. I don't even know if he's going to get cut, but something's going to happen. But I really like our chances with our defensive line.
So what's the weakest? Yeah. So what's this team's Achilles heel?
Strong safety. I'm still on that little guy.
Safety?
Yeah, I can tell the Vikings have tried. They tried last year. They tried to pick up Michael Griffin, and he was cut before the season started. And now this year they brought in Jack Taco, and I don't know how he's gonna handle. I guess it's gonna be fun to watch him in the preseason. And then Tommy Armstrong, he just signed. So I mean, I don't see any of those guys dethroning Angel Sendejo.
How about Antoine Exum? What do you think of Antoine Exum?
Well, he was in a walking boot. Well, I won't bet on his chances much. I mean, he was injured last year, and he's injured again this year. I'm not sure if it was the same injury, but I don't think – I mean, I guess I'd have to see him 100% health to see what he can really do. But for now, I think Andrew Sendejo is the guy, unfortunately. But do you guys think – no, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say –
do you guys think –
Never mind.
Sorry, not bad.
No, I do this at work all the time. I cut people off. It's bad.
I'm not used to these voice calls with like 8 people in there.
No, we're not really used to it either. We're still learning.
It takes some chemistry for sure.
So go ahead, man.
Do you guys think that even if we don't have that stability at the strong safety position, maybe Zimmer can adapt? Do you think maybe less two safety formations? I know they like to play nickel a lot, and that obviously involves a strong safety, but maybe, I don't even know. I guess development from Sendejo, we got to expect more from him this year. I just don't feel comfortable at that position yet.
I mean, were you happy with the performance last year? I mean, because I don't think there's going to be a big change from. I mean, I think there's only been improvements made from last year to this year. I know
he wasn't tackling his own players last year.
Well, I know that position hasn't been improved directly, technically, but there's been a lot of improvements around him. I think in the secondary, I think you can probably expect another step forward from Mackenzie Alexander. Neumann is coming back. I think you can probably expect Waynes to take a step forward. So I think all of that coupled with Mike Zimmer's kind of defensive savvy, I'm not too concerned about the safety spot. I mean, even when we were kind of doing team needs before the draft and everything, it was kind of always my number 3 behind offensive line and linebacker. So I think the Vikings can definitely get by with Andrew Sendejo.
Another idea too Terrence Neumann also played a little bit of safety the last game of the year against the Bears. So another idea.
I don't think that that's too far of a long shot of an idea, too, especially if Harrison Smith is used the same way he was used last year. The role that Andrew Sendejo, honestly, Andrew Sendejo was not that bad because if you think about it, the Vikings did get hit over the top virtually all last year, and that was his role last season.
They did all the time in 2015.
Right. And he was a big part of that in 2015, too. He knocked Xavier Rhodes out, and then he had, what's-his-face, Andre Holmes from the Raiders. Absolutely torch him. Yeah, he was a lot better last season, but they were playing a ton of single high in that nickel look, and that's something that Neumann can absolutely do at a high level because he's been playing zone coverage his entire career. So I don't think that it's too far, depending on how the scheme alignment is and what they're trying to accomplish, especially in a 3rd and long situation. I think it makes a whole lot of sense to drop Neumann back there, in zone coverage as opposed to Sendejo and allow, Newman's instincts to take over just because I think that he's a lot more cerebral player and a guy that tackles with his head down.
Yeah, and I think the pass rush gets a lot better too, and I think that masks some of the issues that you might see from Sendejo back there. But I like Sendejo, so I don't think it's going to be as big an issue as it's not as much of a hole as I think it has been in past years.
We talked about new safety last week a little bit, and I've thought about it since then. If the cornerback depth, if Trey Robeson and some of the younger guys, Jabari Price, if they do step up this preseason and it gets to be a really crowded depth chart at cornerback, then I'm starting to get convinced on Terrence Neumann to safety a little bit.
It makes sense. There's no depth at safety.
Maybe they'll just cut him at him,
I'd rather move Terrence Neumann to safety than lose a talented cornerback and keep him to
right.
So yeah, he's 39 years old. Yeah, you take a beating if you play safety. But I mean, I do see a very slim chance of something like that playing out. I think the more likely scenario is that somebody gets hurt in the preseason. That provides clarity. But
by the way, that reference to cutting Neumann was just kind of a jab at Adam. I'm not actually suggesting we do. That was him suggesting last season that we do. So I won that bet, by the way, Adam. So just want to remind you about that. Yeah, I'm going to bring it up from here on out until the team actually cuts him. And then you can claim that you were right. You were just a year late. All right, man. Well, thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Keep watching, and we're going to do this stuff during the season, too. So after the games, I've heard some people talking about it in the chat. The plan was to kind of do these post-game shows, so this is kind of a test run where we're going to get together after the game, directly following the game, and bring people on, let them vent a little bit, talk about what we just saw, and it should be fun. So thanks for letting us use you as a guinea pig. We appreciate it.
No, yeah, no problem. I had a bunch of fun. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
SKOL Vikings.
Oh, I kicked him out as he was saying SKOL Vikings. I feel bad now.
We heard him.
So we had another guest, but he dropped off, so I don't.
Okay, Kenneth Warren was trying to get a question in. So let me. I need to try and understand what he was asking because it sounded like he was asking about the youth on this roster, and I guess what are the odds that we can get a huge impact from the youth? He says Waynes, Alexander, Treadwell, Cook, and I guess you throw some people in from this past rookie class. Do you guys think we can expect a big contribution from this rookie class and some of these guys from last year?
I think what you're going to get
this year.
Go ahead, Adam. You were nodding before anyone else.
Yeah, I think Delvin Cook is obviously going to be maybe not a centerpiece, but a large piece of this offense, and I would expect that to start his rookie season. running back is a much smaller learning curve compared to other positions, and I think he'll be able to come out of the gate and contribute. And then Elfline at center, assuming he gets the starting gig, which all signs point towards that. Those two guys alone producing in an offense that has struggled should provide more contributions from our rookie class than what we saw last year. And then the rest of the guys also have a fighting chance to see the field on somewhat regular basis.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the youth is that's one thing when you look at this team, man. If we can just get the offensive line figured out and some of these things on offense, there's so much youth on this team that I really feel like we can just tie up a few of these loose ends. We can make some runs for consecutive years. And I think it's kind of a double-edged sword, though, because the other thing I think about is just all these contracts we're going to have to start handing out with all this youth. And I just wonder if, it's Rob Brzezinski, right? Magic man behind the contracts. Maybe he's going to be able to work his magic and keep everybody. But I just get worried that maybe we'll lose some of these studs as they come due for their big payday.
Never worry that you've accumulated too much talent. That is not a problem.
Okay, but it's easy to say that. But teams lose star players all the time because they can't afford to pay them.
But you can better to be in that situation.
Well, I know it's better to be in the situation, but I'm saying I feel like just saying you're like
it's like the quarterback situation.
You're dismissing it, but I feel like it's.
You got two top half QBs in Bradford and Teddy, and but more than likely one of them is going to be the guy for the future. So, there's obviously some complications with it,
but the other one still has value because he's good. You're going to be.
Are we jumping into the Teddy Sam right now?
I didn't want to start.
Did you go there, Drew?
It's a good example. What I'm saying is,
hold on, go ahead, Austin. Go ahead.
We got a guest. Sorry, Adam. I know, bad timing. I just hit let in, and it's not working. So.
Okay, so you got two good quarterbacks, and you decide to keep one because you've come to a crossroads. You have to make a decision. The other one still has value. You get compensation through the compensatory draft picks. You get compensation through trades. That is so much better than drafting crappy players. I mean, you accumulate.
Trubisky.
Right. Yeah. Chicago.
You see Oz tweet? He's like, if Trubisky works out, no one's going to care what they gave up. And I thought of Drew just giving me crap for that. But he hasn't.
What did I do?
No, nothing. Andy Benoit. You didn't see him tweet about Trubisky today?
Ooh.
Oh, my God. Never mind.
Okay.
So what you said, Adam, I think is important.
The dude from he's on
Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated. Yeah, the guy that's just been having the horrid Vikings takes lately.
Oh well, I don't follow him, so obviously not. I'm not going to follow the guy.
All right. Hey, I saw a question here from a guy named Jim F. And he's talking about tight ends. I know that Warwas wants to talk about this for sure. His question was about the situation at the tight end position. How many of them are on the roster? He asks if it's going to be 3. So Warwas, this is your position.
Sorry, so hold on. I'm just gonna. I think you broke up really bad, BJ, there. So I don't know if everyone heard it. So the question was basically, how many tight ends the Vikings are going to keep on the roster?
Correct.
And is it going to be 3? Was the question? So Adam.
Yeah, that was his question.
We have a guest.
We have a guest. All right. Oh, look at that jersey. Look at that jersey.
I love the color rush jerseys, man. What's up, man? How are you?
Who we got here?
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear us? We got some connection issues, my man. All right. I'm going to go ahead and boot him out because it looks like we got someone waiting to get in. Sorry about that.
We'll get back to the tight ends.
Upgrade that internet.
Next guy should be popping up any second. There we go. He's in.
Who we got here?
Hi, how you going, guys?
What's up, man?
Oh, dang.
What's up?
For anyone who doesn't follow me, it's a drizzle. One of the Vikings' biggest Melbourne-based fans.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Adrian,
awesome.
right?
You follow her. Yeah. Hey, man.
Yeah, I recognize you.
Yeah. So don't. I'll put the TV down a little bit. I'm trying to learn how to watch hockey. So.
Oh, that's a good point. Hey, we need to talk about real quick. Do you guys care about the Stanley Cup at all? You trying to?
Nope. Move on.
My one thing, just quickly with hockey, that kind of gets me, is I can never tell who the good players are on the ice. Like I don't know who's playing well. They're just all hitting the balls or the puck. So
Yeah.
Hey, I'll teach you hockey.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Nice.
I root for the Penguins, but I'm trying to get into it because we got the Vegas team that's going to start playing next year. So, I'm a Vegas boy, so our first professional sports.
Good for
team.
you, Brett.
Well, come on, man! I'm pumped up. It's our first professional sports team, man.
I live in South Dakota, right?
Oh, Malls America have a Wild store, and they don't have a T-Wolves store yet. So.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, man. So, hey, you got a question? You got anything you want to talk about tonight besides hockey?
You might be frozen.
No hockey, no more hockey talk.
Okay, so you want to talk Vikings?
Yeah, of course. Just quickly, if anyone was watching the Jerick McKinnon mic'd up, looked like he was taking a lot of snaps with the first stringers. What are your guys' thoughts on his season this year? Do you reckon he's going to start a bit, or do you reckon we'll see a lot more of him out the slot, or what's everyone's expectations on Jerick this year?
I like that question because he's kind of a wild card after Dalvin Cook came in, Latavius Murray was added. His role is kind of a big question mark. So I want to see him in the slot, personally. I think he can be a real weapon in the slot. He was a little bit at the end of 2015 and 2016. So I like Jerick McKinnon in the slot, personally. I don't know if that's how he's going to be used, but I kind of hope he is in the slot. That's my take.
Yeah, I'm not as down on McKinnon as everyone else is, I guess. So I still think he's going to play I don't want to say a big role, but I think he's going to have a maybe an equal share at the running back position. And I'm excited about what he brings to the table. I'm excited of him being motioned out of the backfield. I'm excited about him potentially returning some punts like we saw today on that mic'd up that you're referencing. So I've tried to stop the McKinnon hate a few times on this show. And
hey, I love McKinnon. I think he's going to do like everything for the Vikings.
What kind of hate are you talking about?
Well, I mean, there's been a little bit of hate on the show. I mean, Sam, you're muted, buddy.
Hey, that's a sweet Space Jam shirt, by the way.
Oh yeah, shoot.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, part of I got a pair of the Jordan Space Jam Jordans, so yeah, it's pretty sweet.
All right.
You know, if you want to replace Sam, by the way, this is the guy that we need with that accent. That's the fire accent.
We could just listen to you talk for hours. Just.
How about you answer the tight end question that we've been putting off for about 5 minutes here? How many tight ends are the Vikings going to keep on the roster there? It's Adrian, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how many tight ends on the roster for the Vikes this year?
Probably 3.
Which ones?
Yeah.
Well, obviously Kyle. I think Bucky Hodges is. I'm excited for Bucky. I reckon he's going to be a nice red zone threat if they want to get him onto the field. In saying that, I was always a Pruitt fan as well. I thought he was cool to watch. I was always a little bit excited with him. And is he still in Chicago?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew he headed out. I'm not sure if they kind of stuck around with him. And yeah, then I'm not sure on who keeps the third spot. I guess it'll be up to training camp. See what happens.
David Morgan.
Yeah, I think they need to go with some bodies because. Yeah, I think Morgan he'd have to be the favourite. Like, he did a fair bit of blocking last year. So, I think it's too risky to go in with just Kyle and Bucky because obviously neither of them are big blockers. And who knows what's going to happen with the offensive line. So, we need to keep a fair few bodies on that line. So,
yeah, I think it's a pretty straightforward question with a pretty straightforward answer. I mean, I think it's Rudolph, Morgan, and Hodges. I don't really see it shaking out any other way. I think the problem is that we really got to hope that offensive line is improved because none of those guys, maybe Morgan, but I mean, Rudolph and Hodges definitely don't excel at blocking. So if that offensive line's not improved, it kind of hampers.
Rudolph's not too bad.
Huh?
Gotten better.
I said Rudolph's not too bad.
Okay, well, I guess, yeah, but he's not
solid overall tight end.
Yeah,
well-rounded was.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not trying to bash him or anything. I don't think that's his. I think you'd rather see him out pass catching as opposed to staying back.
Do we see Rudolph long term in this team?
What was that?
Like after, do we still see Rudolph long term in this team? His contract's coming up. I think he might have one more year left on his deal.
I think so.
Five-year deal that he signed in 2012 should probably expire at the end of this year.
All right, I can pull it up.
Yeah, so I wonder where they're at with him as well.
I think that I would say yes, and I think that Harrison Smith's contract has something to do with that. I think signing Michael Floyd also has something to do with that because you're putting Kyle Rudolph's buddies around him. And I think that obviously Harrison Smith will go to bat for him, and he's coming off of his best year of his entire career. So right now, with Bucky Hodges not being able to block in line, I think that you can't afford to allow Rudolph to walk because you're sitting with a pretty devastated depth chart and just Hodges and Morgan if you do allow Rudolph to walk in free agency. So I don't really think they have a choice, to be honest.
He's locked up through 19.
Yeah. He's 2019, okay.
Yeah, so I don't think we have to worry about that one for a while. So did we have someone else, Austin, that was trying to get in?
Someone came in and then hopped right out, so I don't know who it was. But Sam's here. Everybody, Sam made it.
I don't know if you can hear me, but
yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, I just came to listen. I was upset. I had to change my settings. I missed that brilliant tight end take by our new friend Adrian with the excellent. It was Adrian, right? With the excellent accent.
Yeah, yeah, that's
dang it! I always come too late. I just wanted to come to listen. I just came to listen.
Sam,
keep spouting knowledge, guys.
Sam, let's hear that accent.
This is it. It's a Colorado accent. It's really subtle.
Come on, man.
Why are you a Vikings fan?
Me?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, Adrian.
Oh.
That's a bad.
Sorry, everything's just cutting out for a second.
It's okay.
1 sec.
No, you're good now. You're good now.
Just why I'm a Vikings fan?
Yeah.
Yeah? I started in like 2009 and I was trying to get into the sport and I was like 16 years old. Obviously there's not much like NFL coverage back home. I mean now it's picking up a little bit but still not much. And I was trying to find a team and Brett Favre had come out and there was the whole dick pic thing and he had come to Minnesota and I thought that's my kind of quarterback. So I jumped on, like obviously we had Adrian Peterson at the time. So like obviously we had some names and I jumped on at the start of the 2009 season, and obviously that was quite magical. So it was enough to kind of help me fall in love with the team, and yeah, it kind of grew from there. Like I was still kind of really growing into it. Then by like 2011, then I was getting up 3 a.m. to watch every game, and it's been like that since. So it's pretty incredible. Like for those of you that don't know, I actually travelled up to the States in the end of 15, and I was at the Vikings home game against the Packers. The game unfortunately lost. But that was really cool to see like Teddy and Co and Adrian obviously scored a touchdown that game, so that was pretty incredible. So yeah, I've been a massive fan since then. There's no real romantic story behind it. It's one that I just kind of like piggybacked and have like been addicted ever since. So I am coming back up again.
Yeah, I think it's great that you started in 2009 because it was obviously a great season, but you also got to see a classic Vikings heartbreak too. So you really experienced the full Vikings fandom in the first season.
All a couple of guys now tonight.
That's called being baptized.
It was, if I was more educated at the time into, as if all my other sporting teams weren't breaking my heart enough, I had to pick one up without knowing. But
So hey man, I'm going to hit you up with the question that we have in the chat because you brought up Adrian Peterson. So first, how did you feel about seeing Adrian Peterson today in that Saints uniform? Did you see that picture that the Saints put out?
Yeah, I saw that picture. I mean, it sucks. It sucks to see him. I was one that wanted to see him go. I thought his kind of time was up. I thought last year, even the last year and a half, it was all just buying time. But I mean, to see him in a Saints uniform sucks.
Yeah.
to know that we're playing him week 1 sucks as well. I would probably have preferred not to play him this year, not because I'm scared of him, but just more, I don't know, I don't want to have to cheer against him for the first game that we play of the season. But I am hoping to travel up to Minnesota for that game. And if I do, I'm going to boo him. So
what's your prediction for, we've gotten some people asking, how many yards is Peterson going to run on the Vikings for week 1?
Oh, week 1, 50 yards.
50 yards?
Yeah.
What was your take, Adam? Was 90?
I think they've got a good backfield, so...
59?
9 yards, Adam?
9 yards.
I could totally see that happening.
5 carries, 5 touches.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
I think, obviously Ingram's, supplanted as their lead back, and as he should. I think he's really good. But they're going to feed him. They're going to try to get him into the game. They're going to try to work off the crowd. So I could see them feeding him kind of 10 to 15 times. I would say max 50 yards. But it might be one of those games where he has 20 yards, but he gets a touchdown because they might give him a short yardage one if they get down onto the goal line. But it would be fun to see Liverpool stuff in behind the line. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I could see them feeding him around the goal line, and just because it's the Vikings, one of those Jerome Bettis lines in his later days: 3 carries, 4 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. You mean the Matt Asiata special?
Yeah. The Asiata. Yeah, that's right. Asiata's touchdowns always came in 3s.
Against the Philadelphia Eagles. What was it, when they won 48-20 in Week 16 of 2015 against the Eagles, I want to say? When it didn't matter. And Toss got
that was 2013. 2013. He had 30 carries. He had 30 carries for 50 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. I had him in fantasy that week, so I remember that one.
Nice.
All right, man. We got someone knocking to enter the room. So hey, we really appreciate you watching, and we appreciate the love. So thanks for stopping by, man. We hope to see you again.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Brett, you can kick me out too. I'm a straggler tonight.
You can stay.
All right, no.
That's the best accent I've heard.
Don't try and sit there and act like I just wanted to listen. You could have listened from YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, just
you're right.
YouTube.
That was a lot. I wanted to get my face and be heard.
We know you've been hungry for the spotlight.
I raced home as soon as I could and came in this room.
It was pretty cool.
Austin, you gonna let this person in?
I'm trying clicking it. It's not letting me. But it was cool seeing someone was knocking and it was Sam.
I thought it might be fun.
I gave a little fist bump.
Yes.
I can't get this person in.
All right. Well, we'll take 1 or 2 more people. I've put the link in the chat. I'll throw it in there again. If anyone wants to come on the show, we'll take 1 or 2 more, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But this has been fun, man. I'm so excited to do this during the regular season.
Yeah, this is gonna be sweet.
I mean, and can you imagine if we have a bad game and we're all gonna get on here and just be fuming?
Oh, right, definitely gonna have a bad game.
Yeah, I imagine there will be one of those.
You're gonna need to find a censor button, Brett.
Well, no, I gonna put it. I have it on a 10-second delay tonight. I'll probably have to put those on a 30-second delay. Just
Can we just call that the BJ button? He already has his own channel in Slack. He should have his own.
No, do the KG Area 21 thing where he's got just the button sitting there next to his chair. He just pushes everything he wants to swear.
An easy button, but for censorship instead.
Yeah.
Austin, are you able to let that person in?
I can't see video, but here we go.
Oh, yeah.
He's back.
All right.
Yes.
Dude is back.
Hi, Rashawn.
Come back to tell us BJ's your favorite again?
That's my guy. Hey, you're my favorite too, man.
Thank you. Love is mutual, baby.
All right. Well, hey, man, you got a question, or there's some questions in a chat. You just want to join us for one of them, or?
Kind of breaking up. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
No, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right. So
how important is it for Harrison Smith to actually get a true partner in crime? Because he does pretty good for himself right now, being the best safety in the league.
Man, this is a popular topic.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Sendejo all episode.
I do not believe in Andre Sendejo, although he did play for that money that we gave him. But I don't think he can do it back to back. He only did it once, to be honest.
I think
wrong.
Anyone want to take a stab at this really quick?
Austin looks like he wants to talk.
I don't know. I feel like Sendejo's
John's been quiet in the corner there too.
I feel like he's a guy who's gotten better over the years, and last year he proved that he can play for the money. He was serviceable. He got hurt. He had a high ankle sprain, I think, after that Eagles game. And after that, we saw what happened with J-Ron Curse and any of the other guys that played. So if you want dependability and someone who's at least comfortable in Zimmer's system, who Sendejo knows, and Sean kind of talked about this in his article, but someone who you can trust, I think you can trust him more than you can trust Curse, you can trust Harris, you can trust Exum, who can't stay on the field. Am I missing anybody? Any other safeties? Terrence Neumann, I would rather have Sendejo than Terrence Neumann back there.
I agree. And I think the short answer is there's nobody
So my
on the
question is then, describing Sendejo, is he the next man up, or is he a great backup?
Next man up, I would say. I think Zimmer likes him. I think Zimmer actually likes having Sendejo.
I think Sendejo is a quality pro, to be quite honest with you. I think that he is a very average, get the job done type professional football player that is going to give you the miles because he knows the schemes, a smart, intelligent football player, but he doesn't possess a dynamic skill set, and he's just never going to be a game changer. But the reason why he continues to get the snaps is because he knows what he's doing, and the other guys clearly do not.
Go ahead, Adam.
I definitely agree. Which one is more important then? A third linebacker that is competent, or partner for Harrison Smith?
Adam?
Partner for Harrison Smith is going to be on the field a lot more.
Adam, speak up, man.
A partner for Harrison Smith is going to be on the field a lot more than the third linebacker, so I'd say that.
Yeah, but I feel like the level of play we're getting from Sendejo is higher than the level of play we're getting from that third linebacker spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in Sean's article the other day, he kind of outlined how Sendejo has improved every year that he's been a pro. And I would disagree with BJ that he can't be a dynamic player that changes the game. I think he's shown those flashes at times, and he's played some really great games. And the first half of that Philadelphia game, I thought, was one of them, honestly.
That's true.
So I think consistency is more the issue than not having the skill set. And if he continues to improve and progress, as we've seen so far in his career, what's to say he can't become more consistent in 2017 than he was in 2016? That would be key to being a true partner in crime to Harrison Smith. Now, that's some pretty high hopes. I'd rather have an easy fix. We have an awesome draft prospect or a free agent signing that is a clear upgrade to Andrew Sendejo, but that time has come and gone. So now the hope is that Sendejo progresses and becomes that partner in crime. In terms of what's more important to this defense, I think strong safety is far more important than the third linebacker spot, simply because we can rotate and play situational football with that third linebacker spot.
Yep, I'd agree with that. All right, man.
All right, so I guess I only have one more question for you.
Overtime with Rashawn.
Seeing the acquisitions we made this year and the draft, getting Bucky Hodges and Dalvin Cook, are you buying or are you selling on Pat Shurmur being the lead offensive coordinator this year?
Anyone but Norv Turner is my take on that. So,
Sean, what do you think about this? You've been quiet for too long. We're gonna see if you're still alive over there.
I'm a big fan of
buying because
I'm not
a fan of
Sean.
He heard. I said
Rashawn.
Sean. He heard Rashawn. I got you. Okay.
Rashawn, let Sean go real quick.
That's okay. I go by Sean. That's why.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, that makes sense.
Borman.
BJ, we supposed to be on the same page here, bro.
We're working out the kinks of our chemistry, man. It's first time.
I feel like Shurmur is a better fit because he plays to the strengths of the players more so than Norv Turner, who was a little more grandfathered into his system.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the right take, Sean.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Rashawn, do you agree with that?
I can't hear at all.
Oh, all right, man. Well, we're gonna let you go anyway. All right. Thanks for Sean.
Big pause.
Oh, okay.
I think
he might not have known he was being let go.
That's all right.
It's like because
BJ, you can let your boy know in the chat that we were just having some technical difficulties. Nothing personal. We're just still working out the kinks here a little bit. We're gonna have like a minimum internet speed requirement for if you come on the show, and also you have to be not using a mobile phone. Actually, though, we had one guy that was on a mobile phone, I think, and it looked pretty good. Yeah.
Sideways.
Alex, I think, was right.
But all right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna do it. We're already over an hour, so appreciate you guys in the chat. I'm sorry if we didn't get to your question. It was kind of hard to multitask and bring people on and answer these questions and also look at the chat, so we'll get better at that. Like I said, this is our first time doing this, so we appreciate you guys letting us work out the kinks. I don't even know if you guys can like or subscribe on these live videos, because this is the first time we've done it, but if you can, we'd appreciate it if you did. I think this is probably going to be posted as an actual video after the fact. I'll come back and edit it and repost it. But yeah, that's it. Thanks everybody, and like I said, we're going to see you guys during the regular season and the preseason. We're going to be doing these post-game shows, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So subscribe for that, and SKOL Vikings. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
You guys.
I need to figure out how to turn this thing off now. So
we got one.
You can't let him in. We float. No, Hoodie, it's over. The show's over.
Just so we can boot him out.
The show's over. I'm trying to figure
I heard that, Austin. I heard that.
I'm trying to figure out how to turn it off. Do they know how to turn off these live chats?
Sam, I wanted to let you know I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
No, I'm glad. I just wanted to let you know